Good morning, good morning, do 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 do. Good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to a daily dose of joy. We are choosing joy and going to use the Woopsie Daisy microdosing tool. And I was thinking today, I've been playing with this word tool for a while, going, but tool sounds like something you'd use to fix something. And that is not my focus and hasn't been for a long time. My focus is on creating. And so I thought it was important to share with people when I say microdosing tools, these are our tools to create, like the tools you use in the kitchen to create an amazing meal, or the tools you use in your studio to make a crazy painting, or the tools you use in your toolbox to build a fabulous tiny house, or a macked out bling bling mansion. Those are creative tools for creating the life we want, for creating our best life, for creating the habits of joy all throughout our day. That's the intention. And Woopsie Daisies and Woopsie Daisy's stories really live that intention, because we're storytellers in that moment. We are creating the story. We are taking what could be just very disconcerting from one lens and seeing it through a lens of joy and story and fun and connection with other people. So I just really want to keep encouraging everybody to try this creative tool and to share it in our microdosing group, and to share it and practice it here with me, going back and listening to previous daily doses of joy where I share a Woopsie Daisy story. It works on your mirror neurons and helps you get into the storyteller rhythm, which is one of the joys of life, is being able to hear other people's stories and share our stories. So today I'm going to do a little theme of mistaken identity. Because as I've shared with you guys, if you have a prompt, if you're expanding in your capacity to use this tool, it helps sometimes to have a little prompt, and it'll help get that hippocampus firing and pulling out old memories. So I thought of one mistaken identity story, and then I was futzing around warming up my tea, and I was like, oh, I have that other mistaken identity story that's, it zipped back, came out of my hippocampus from 25 years ago, something like that, maybe a little more. So that's how it works. So let's see, the first one, the one from back in the day, was I was in Washington, D.C., and I was doing an internship. I was, at the time, envisioning becoming a world traveling journalist, doing like personal interviews and getting the story behind fascinating people. And I was doing some interviews in the Senate. And I remember I was very dressed up for me. I felt very grown up, although I was very young, college age, and had, I thought a very professional demeanor going on. And I went to the office where I had an appointment to interview, can't remember the name of the senator at the time. It was on an environmental issue that I thought was really fantastic. Don't remember who the interview was at the time, but I go into the office and I say to the secretary sitting there, I say, hi, my name, no, that's not what I said. I didn't say my name is Winston Garland. I said, hi, Winston Garland is here for the appointment with the senator. And then I sit down. She was busy, she was multitasking, and kind of points for me to sit down. So I go sit down, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm young, and a little, intimidated by the surrounds. And so I'm thinking, okay, this is an important person doing important things. I can wait. And then it gets to be like a crazy long wait. And so I amble back up to the secretary's desk, who's just flying. Like, it feels like she had 3 phones coming out of her hands and 4 hands handling all the calls. I said, pardon me, I was looking to do that interview and wondered what happened. Do you know how much longer he'll be delayed? And she said, oh, I was waiting for Winston Garland to arrive. And I said, well, I said Winston was here. I said, yeah, Winston is here for the interview. And she said, oh, I thought you were just his secretary announcing him that he hadn't arrived yet. I was waiting for him to arrive before I got y'all in. I was like, whoopsie daisy, what? My hunch is it was a Southern senator, a Southern office where, it just, if there was a young girl coming, she wasn't the interviewer. She was the interviewer's secretary, especially if the name was Winston. I mean, who's heard of a girl named Winston? So, whoopsie daisy. I actually have lots of whoopsie daisy stories around my name, mistaken identity stories around my name, as you can imagine. The only other Winston Garland I've ever heard of in the world is a NBA basketball player. So most people aren't going to confuse us, but there are other mistaken identity stories with a name like that. All right, so that was my mistaken identity whoopsie daisy story number 1. And then I'm going to tell you a second one, which happened much more recently. And my apologies to anyone who's already heard this story, because it's a funny one. So I got on the microdosing group to make a call to do a whoopsie daisy story. I'm like, let's take 5 minutes, tell a little story, get my curious observer engaged, be seeing the humor in my life, and connect with other people. Get on the call. There's a number of people that want to get on the call, and so I'm entering people, adding them in the call, kind of quick on the fly, of course. And I see one name, I think that doesn't look quite right, but that must be it. And I am adding names to the call. Get on the call. We laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Oh, wait, I'm telling a whoopsie daisy. I was not calling about a whoopsie daisy. I was calling that day to do a laughter flow. And I was actually going to do a double. So we did a 5-minute laughter flow and then a 5-minute deeper truth. And so it was just, a great space to hold together. And we get on and we laugh and laugh and laugh. And then I talk people through how to do the deeper truth. And we're going round robin, going around doing the deeper truth. And the guy on the call says, yeah, I need a little guidance. I'm not really sure what the deeper truth tool is. I'm like, okay, sure, and I talk him through it. He joins right in. We're riffing off each other as we go around. You can just feel this momentum building in the deeper truth. All of us like connecting with the deeper truth below the surface of the day. And we get off that call and I realize I have added somebody. I get a post from somebody like, oh, you missed adding me to the call. And I'm like, And then I put 2 and 2 together and I realize I have added a general contractor that was in my phone directory that has a very similar name. So basically, I called a random stranger. Whoopsie daisy, big whoopsie daisy. And so I call him and I'm like, oh my. So first I apologize to the person who missed the call. And then I call that person and say, oh, whoopsie daisy, I accidentally added you to the call. But what I'm so surprised about is you didn't say, oh, you've got the wrong number. You just went right along with it. Please tell me more. And he said, and I don't remember this person. This is somebody from a decade past that was just archivally in my phone. And he says, well, you woke me up. I was like, oh my, He said, and so you were laughing so hard that by the time I kind of came to, I was already laughing with you. I mean, it felt so good. Who could resist? So I thought, okay. And he just laughed along. And he said, and then when you got to the second one, I was like, oh my God, I feel so good. This is so great. I'm not getting off the phone. I'll just do whatever they're doing. The power of microdosing tools. And it was so funny. Big whoopsie daisy. Mistaken identity. And it all worked out. Oh, and it made for a rich, wonderful story. And the universe surprised and delighted him that day. And me too. And our whole group that was on that call. It was great. And that trusting, that everything always works out. It works out. Well, thank you for joining me here on A Daily Dose of Joy. I am sending out all sorts of hugs and cuddles and connected vibes. And I look forward to doing some whoopsie daisies with folks. Doing some whoopsie daisies with folks today on the microdosing line. Have a good one, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.